Chapter 5. Mystical, Hermetic and Sapiential Writings. The mystical, Hermetic and sapiential writings within the Gnostic corpus form a distinctive current that blends philosophy, spirituality, and poetic revelation into a single contemplative tradition. They stand apart from the more doctrinal Gospels or mythic cosmological treatises, not by rejecting them, but by translating their metaphysical vision into a language of direct experience and inner transformation. Where the Gospels speak through dialogue and the Apocalypses through vision, these writings speak through illumination. Their concern is not history or theology but the soul's relation to the divine mind, the living exchange between thought, breath, and light. In the context of the Gnostic universe, these texts emerge from the meeting point of several great traditions: Christian mysticism, Platonic metaphysics, Egyptian wisdom, and the Hermetic vision of divine unity. The result is a body of work that reads less like revelation received from an external savior and more like a meditation unfolding from within consciousness itself. They explore how the divine manifests simultaneously in the cosmos, in language, and in the knowing heart. For this reason, they are often described as Hermetic, invoking Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary sage of Greco-Egyptian Gnosis who symbolizes the union of philosophy and mysticism. These works turn inward, describing initiation into the mysteries not as ritual ascent but as the awakening of divine awareness through silence, contemplation, and the harmonizing of opposites. Their fame arises from this ability to unify wisdom across traditions, creating a bridge between myth and philosophy. While other Gnostic texts wrestle with the dualism of spirit and matter, the mystical, Hermetic writings seek reconciliation. They teach that the path to divine knowledge runs through balance and insight rather than rejection of the world. The cosmos is not merely a prison of flesh but a living symbol of divine intelligence, a manifestation of the same mind that the seeker discovers within. In this sense, enlightenment is portrayed not as escape from creation but as the recognition that divinity permeates it entirely. The writings themselves often oscillate between prose and ecstatic poetry, their language deliberately luminous and cyclical, mirroring the movement of thought returning to its source. They are filled with images of light descending into darkness and returning transformed, of breath and word as the vehicles of creation, and of union between the masculine and feminine principles, symbols that express the dynamic balance through which the divine becomes manifest in the world. The practitioner or reader is invited to move beyond conceptual knowing into the experience of pure awareness, to become both observer and participant in the ongoing act of creation. Philosophically, these works articulate a vision of gnosis as the perfection of self-knowledge through divine correspondence. They interpret existence as the dialogue between the emanating intellect and the receptive soul, two mirrors recognizing one another. The divine, in this view, is not distant or transcendent in opposition to the world but immanent, breathing through every level of being. Liberation thus becomes a matter of recognition, the rediscovery of unity behind apparent separation. In their serene, contemplative tone, the mystical, Hermetic writings transform religious revelation into philosophical poetry. They offer instruction not for belief but for awakening, for the transmutation of perception itself. Within the broader Gnostic tapestry, these Hermetic and sapiential treatises function as its inner voice, calm, radiant, and probing. Rather than dramatizing the divine struggle between order and chaos, they reveal the still point at its center, where divine thought and human awareness meet as reflections of one another. Their enduring significance lies in this synthesis. They show how the ultimate mystery can be approached not by faith alone or reason alone, but through a union of both, the mind lifted into silence, the heart open to light, and the soul remembering that wisdom was never lost, only unrecognized. The Thunder. Perfect Mind. The Thunder, Perfect Mind is one of the most extraordinary and poetic works within the Gnostic and Hermetic tradition, a text that defies classification. Neither gospel nor treatise in the conventional sense, it reads as a cosmic monologue spoken by a mysterious feminine voice that embodies the divine paradox at the heart of existence. In the wider landscape of the Gnostic writings, it stands as a hymn of revelation, but not one addressed to disciples or followers. Instead, it is the divine itself speaking in the first person, unveiling its nature through contradiction, rhythm, and insistence. Where other Gnostic texts explain creation or offer secret teachings, the Thunder, Perfect Mind becomes revelation in motion, the divine proclaiming itself as both knowledge and mystery, fullness and emptiness, light and shadow. The text is famous for its striking poetic voice, a voice that transcends gender, time, and definition. The speaker identifies herself through a litany of opposites. She is the mother and the daughter, the virgin and the prostitute, the honored and the despised, wisdom and ignorance, truth and error. Through this rhythm of reversal, the divine reveals itself as encompassing all states of being without division. The title itself, Perfect Mind, suggests not perfection as flawlessness, but wholeness, the complete awareness that embraces contradiction as the essence of the real. Scholars have long marveled at its language, which oscillates between exaltation and humility, authority and vulnerability. This shifting, multifaceted voice becomes a mirror of consciousness itself, the self-aware presence that underlies and unites all experience. In its content and tone, the Thunder, Perfect Mind departs from traditional theology altogether. Instead of expounding a system or recounting a myth, it functions as a revelation of being. The divine feminine, known in many Gnostic systems as Sophia, speaks not as a fallen figure seeking redemption but as the eternal mind recognizing its unity within multiplicity. The text's monologue has an oracular quality reminiscent of prophetic utterance, yet it owes more to mystical poetry than sermon. The divine here is not distant but inherent in the oppositions of existence, the wisdom that is found as much in failure as in triumph, in darkness as in brilliance. Its imagery is radiant and paradoxical. The recurring motifs of voice, thunder, and silence express the divine act of self-disclosure, sound emerging from the unseen, thought becoming word. The thunder represents revelation, sudden, overwhelming, impossible to ignore, yet vanishing into silence once heard. The feminine speaker embodies the totality of creation and consciousness, showing that to know the divine is to recognize it in all contradictions. The text thus transforms the Gnostic motif of alienation into revelation. Unity is not achieved by escaping opposites but by embracing them. Philosophically, the Thunder, Perfect Mind is a meditation on the nature of identity and divine consciousness. It implies that ignorance arises from separation, the refusal to see that every quality, even the most profane, contains an aspect of the sacred. The divine is both the knower and the unknown, manifesting through contrast so that understanding can be born. In this sense, the poem anticipates later mystical traditions that describe enlightenment as the reconciliation of all dualities. It represents the moment when gnosis becomes poetry, when metaphysical truth expresses itself not through concept but through rhythm and paradox. Within the broader corpus of Gnostic texts, the Thunder, Perfect Mind stands as a singular revelation, a vision of divinity that requires no mediator, no savior, no explanation. It speaks with the immediacy of consciousness itself, declaring, "I am all that is." Its enduring power lies in its universality and in its refusal to simplify the complexity of existence. By giving voice to the divine feminine, to the intelligence that holds opposites within itself, it turns theology into art, philosophy into music. In its thunderous cadence the listener hears not a dogma, but a reminder: the perfect mind is not beyond contradiction, but born from it, ever luminous, ever whole. He was sent forth from the power. And I have come to those who reflect upon me. And I have been found among those who seek after me. Look upon me, you who reflect upon me. And you hearers, hear me. You who are waiting for me, take me to yourselves. And do not banish me from your sight. And do not make your voice hate me, nor your hearing. Do not be ignorant of me anywhere or any time. Be on your guard. Do not be ignorant of me. For I am the first and the last. I am the honored one and the scorned one. I am the whore and the holy one. I am the wife and the virgin. I am the mother and the daughter. I am the members of my mother. I am the barren one. And many are her sons. I am she whose wedding is great. And I have not taken a husband. I am the midwife and she who does not bear. I am the solace of my labor pains. I am the bride and the bridegroom. And it is my husband who begot me. I am the mother of my father. And the sister of my husband. And he is my offspring. I am the slave of him who prepared me. I am the ruler of my offspring. But he is the one who begot me before the time on a birthday. And he is my offspring in due time. And my power is from him. I am the staff of his power in his youth. And he is the rod of my old age. And whatever he wills happens to me. I am the silence that is incomprehensible. And the idea whose remembrance is frequent. I am the voice whose sound is manifold. And the word whose appearance is multiple. I am the utterance of my name. Why, you who hate me, do you love me? And hate those who love me? You who deny me, confess me. And you who confess me, deny me. you who tell the truth about me, lie about me. And you who have lied about me, tell the truth about me. You who know me, be ignorant of me. And those who have not known me, let them know me. For I am knowledge and ignorance. I am shame and boldness. I am shameless, I am ashamed. I am strength and I am fear. I am war and peace. Give heed to me. I am the one who is disgraced and the great one. Give heed to my poverty and my wealth. Do not be arrogant to me when I am cast out upon the earth. And you will find me in those that are to come. And do not look upon me on the dung heap. Nor go and leave me cast out. And you will find me in the kingdoms. And do not look upon me when I am cast out among those who are disgraced and in the least places. Nor laugh at me. And do not cast me out among those who are slain in violence. But I am compassionate and I am cruel. Be on your guard. Do not hate my obedience and do not love my self-control. In my weakness, do not forsake me, and do not be afraid of my power. For why do you despise my fear and curse my pride? But I am she who exists in all fears and strength in trembling. I am she who is weak. And I am well in a pleasant place. I am senseless and I am wise. Why have you hated me in your counsels? For I shall be silent among those who are silent. And I shall appear and speak. Why then have you hated me, you Greeks? Because I am a barbarian among the barbarians? For I am the wisdom of the Greeks. And the knowledge of the barbarians. I am the judgment of the Greeks and of the barbarians. I am the one whose image is great in Egypt. And the one who has no image among the barbarians. I am the one who has been hated everywhere. And who has been loved everywhere. I am the one whom they call life. And you have called death. I am the one whom they call law. And you have called lawlessness. I am the one whom you have pursued. And I am the one whom you have seized. I am the one whom you have scattered. And you have gathered me together. I am the one before whom you have been ashamed. And you have been shameless to me. I am she who does not keep festival. And I am she whose festivals are many. I am godless. And I am the one whose God is great. I am the one whom you have reflected upon. And you have scorned me. I am unlearned, and they learn from me. I am the one that you have despised, and you reflect upon me. I am the one whom you have hidden from, and you appear to me. But whenever you hide yourselves, I myself will appear. For whenever you appear, I myself will hide from you. Those who have, to it, senselessly. Take me, understanding, from grief. And take me to yourselves from understanding and grief. And take me to yourselves from places that are ugly and in ruin. And rob from those which are good even though in ugliness. Out of shame, take me to yourselves shamelessly, and out of shamelessness and shame, upbraid my members in yourselves. And come forward to me, you who know me and you who know my members, and establish the great ones among the small first creatures. Come forward to childhood, and do not despise it because it is small and it is little. And do not turn away greatnesses in some parts from the smallnesses, for the smallnesses are known from the greatnesses. Why do you curse me and honor me? You have wounded and you have had mercy. Do not separate me from the first ones whom you have known. And do not cast anyone out nor turn anyone away, turn you away, and, no, him not. What is mine I know the first ones and those after them know me. But I am the mind of and the rest of I am the knowledge of my inquiry, and the finding of those who seek after me, and the command of those who ask of me, and the power of the powers in my knowledge of the angels, who have been sent at my word. And of gods in their seasons by my counsel, and of spirits of every man who exists with me, and of women who dwell within me. I am the one who is honored, and who is praised, and who is despised scornfully. I am peace, and war has come because of me. And I am an alien and a citizen. I am the substance and the one who has no substance. Those who are without association with me are ignorant of me, and those who are in my substance are the ones who know me. Those who are close to me have been ignorant of me, and those who are far away from me are the ones who have known me. On the day when I am close to you, you are far away from me, and on the day when I am far away from you, I am close to you. Within. Of the natures. I am, of the creation of the spirits. Request of the souls. I am control and the uncontrollable. I am the union and the dissolution. I am the abiding and I am the dissolution. I am the one below, and they come up to me. I am the judgment and the acquittal. I am sinless, and the root of sin derives from me. I am lust in, outward, appearance, and interior self-control exists within me. I am the hearing which is attainable to everyone and the speech which cannot be grasped. I am a mute who does not speak, and great is my multitude of words. Hear me in gentleness, and learn of me in roughness. I am she who cries out, and I am cast forth upon the face of the earth. I prepare the bread and my mind within. I am the knowledge of my name. I am the one who cries out, and I listen. I appear and walk in seal of my. I am the defense. I am the one who is called truth and iniquity. You honor me and you whisper against me. You who are vanquished, judge them, who vanquish you, before they give judgment against you, because the judge and partiality exist in you. If you are condemned by this one, who will acquit you? Or, if you are acquitted by him, who will be able to detain you? For what is inside of you is what is outside of you, and the one who fashions you on the outside is the one who shaped the inside of you. And what you see outside of you, you see inside of you, it is visible and it is your garment. Hear me, you hearers, and learn of my words, you who know me. I am the hearing that is attainable to everything, I am the speech that cannot be grasped. I am the name of the sound and the sound of the name. I am the sign of the letter and the designation of the division. And I, light. Hearers, to you the great power. And will not move the name. To the one who created me. And I will speak his name. Look then at his words and all the writings which have been completed. Give heed then, you hearers, and you also, the angels and those who have been sent, and you spirits who have arisen from the dead. For I am the one who alone exists, and I have no one who will judge me. For many are the pleasant forms which exist in numerous sins, and incontinencies, and disgraceful passions, and fleeting pleasures, which men embrace until they become sober and go up to their resting place. And they will find me there, and they will live, and they will not die again. Asclepius 21-29. The Asclepius, also known as the Perfect Discourse or the Perfect Sermon, is a cornerstone of the Hermetic, Gnostic tradition, standing at the crossroads between mystical philosophy, sacred science, and revelation. It is attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, the legendary sage who personifies the unity of divine intellect and spiritual insight, addressing his disciple Asclepius in a conversation that fuses cosmic theology with practical wisdom. Within the broader framework of Gnostic thought, the Asclepius represents a distinctive voice, one that does not reject the material world as an error, but seeks to understand it as a living manifestation of divine intelligence. It bridges the visionary tone of the Gnostic Gospels and the rational harmony of Platonic philosophy, teaching that all things, visible and invisible, are bound together in a single, conscious order. The work is famous for articulating one of the most balanced and humanistic expressions of spiritual philosophy in late antiquity. Where many Gnostic texts emphasize alienation from the cosmos, the Asclepius regards the universe as suffused with divinity. It describes the world as a living God, animated by a soul that extends from the Supreme Creator to every level of existence. Humanity, in this vision, occupies a sacred middle place, both mortal and immortal, a reflection of the divine mind within the temporal order. The dialogue celebrates the creative power of divine reason, nous, the harmony of the elements, and the responsibility of the wise to care for the world as participants in its ongoing creation. The tone is both contemplative and prophetic. It exalts human potential while warning of an age of decline, when reverence for the divine will fade and the world's sacred harmony will be forgotten. The structure of the dialogue moves between intimate teaching and solemn vision. Hermes explains to Asclepius the nature of the Supreme God, the process of emanation through which life descends into form, and the mystery of divine presence within matter. Humanity is portrayed as a microcosm of the cosmos, capable of both understanding and recreating divine order through knowledge and ritual. The act of creation is no longer solely God's, it continues through the human ability to contemplate, shape, and align with the greater will. This sense of participatory divinity distinguishes the Asclepius from stricter dualistic systems. Creation is not a fall, but an opportunity for reflection, renewal, and co-creation with the divine. The symbols of the treatise are luminous and evocative. The image of light as thought, of breath as spirit, and of the world as a living organism expresses its central vision of sacred interconnection. The dialogue's prophetic warning of a coming spiritual decay, when humanity will forget the cosmos as divine, speaks to both history and the human psyche. Forgetting the sacred order leads to disintegration, while remembering it restores harmony. The interplay between nous, divine mind, logos, creative word, and pneuma, breath or spirit, serves as a pattern for consciousness itself, reminding the reader that creation and understanding are simultaneous acts. Philosophically, the Asclepius stands as a bridge between religion and reason, uniting mysticism with metaphysics. It envisions divinity not as a remote authority but as living thought pervading every particle of being. Knowledge, for Hermes, is salvation, not the escape of the soul from the world, but its awakening within it. In contrast to the despair that tinges some Gnostic myths, the Asclepius offers a vision of harmony and participation, the cosmos as sacred order, the human as its conscious mirror. Within the wider spectrum of Gnostic and Hermetic writings, the Asclepius remains timeless because of this equilibrium. It affirms both transcendence and immanence, both the purity of spirit and the sanctity of form. Its enduring voice speaks to those who seek a spirituality grounded in understanding, a vision of the divine not as distant perfection but as present intelligence, unfolding, breathing, and remembering itself through the mind and heart of humankind. And if you, Asclepius, wish to see the reality of this mystery, then you should see the wonderful representation of the intercourse that takes place between the male and the female. For when the semen reaches the climax, it leaps forth. In that moment, the female receives the strength of the male, for his part, receives the strength of the female, while the semen does this. Therefore, the mystery of intercourse is performed in secret, in order that the two sexes might not disgrace themselves in front of many who do not experience that reality. For each of them, the sexes, contributes its own part in begetting. For if it happens in the presence of those who do not understand the reality, it is laughable and unbelievable. And, moreover, they are holy mysteries, of both words and deeds, because not only are they not heard, but also they are not seen. Therefore, such people, the unbelievers, are blasphemers. They are atheistic and impious. But the others are not many, rather, the pious who are counted are few. Therefore, wickedness remains among the many, since learning concerning the things which are ordained does not exist among them. For the knowledge of the things which are ordained is truly the healing of the passions of the matter. Therefore, learning is something derived from knowledge. But if there is ignorance, and learning does not exist in the soul of man, then, the incurable passions persist in it, the soul. And additional evil comes with them, the passions, in the form of an incurable sore. And the sore constantly gnaws at the soul, and through it the soul produces worms from the evil, and stinks. But God is not the cause of these things, since he sent to men knowledge and learning. Trismegistus, did he send them to men alone? Yes, Asclepius, he sent them to them alone. And it is fitting that we tell you why to men alone he granted knowledge and learning, the allotment of his good. And now listen. God and the Father, even the Lord, created man subsequent to the gods, and he took him from the region of matter. Since matter is involved in the creation of man, the passions are in it. Therefore, they continually flow over his body, for this living creature would not have existed in any other way except that he had taken this food, since he is mortal. It is also inevitable that inopportune desires, which are harmful, dwell in him. For the gods, since they came into being out of a pure matter, do not need learning and knowledge. For the immortality of the gods is learning and knowledge, since they came into being out of pure matter. Immortality, assumed for them the position of knowledge and learning. By necessity, he, God, set a boundary for man, he placed him in learning and knowledge. Concerning these things, learning and knowledge, which we have mentioned from the beginning, he, God, perfected them in order that by means of these things he might restrain passions and evils, according to his will. He brought his, man's, mortal existence into immortality, he, man, became good, and immortal, just as I have said. For he, God, created a twofold nature for him, the immortal and the mortal. And it happened this way because of the will of God that men be better than the gods, since, indeed, the gods are immortal, but men alone are both immortal and mortal. Therefore, man has become akin to the gods, and they know the affairs of each other with certainty. The gods know the things of men, and men know the things of the gods. And I am speaking about men, Asclepius, who have attained learning and knowledge. But, about those who are more vain than these, it is not fitting that we say anything base, since we are divine and are introducing holy matters. Since we have entered the matter of the communion between the gods and men, know, Asclepius, that in which man can be strong. For just as the Father, the Lord of the universe, creates gods, in this very way man too, this mortal, earthly, living creature, the one who is not like God, also himself creates gods. Not only does he strengthen, but he is also strengthened. Not only is he God, but he also creates gods. Are you astonished, Asclepius? Are you yourself another disbeliever like the many? Trismegistus, I agree with the words spoken to me. And I believe you as you speak. But I have also been astonished at the discourse about this. And I have decided that man is blessed, since he has enjoyed this great power. And that which is greater than all these things, Asclepius, is worthy of admiration. Now it is clear to us concerning the race of the gods, and we confess it along with everyone else, that it, the race of the gods, has come into being out of a pure matter. And their bodies are heads only. But that which men create is the likeness of the gods. They, the gods, are from the farthest part of the matter, and it, the object created by men, is from the outer part of the being of men. Not only are they, what men created, heads, but they are also all the other members of the body, and according to their likeness. Just as God has willed that the inner man be created according to his image, in the very same way, man on earth creates gods according to his likeness. Trismegistus, you are not talking about idols, are you? Asclepius, you yourself are talking about idols. You see that again, you yourself, Asclepius, are also a disbeliever of the discourse. You say about those who have soul and breath, that they are idols, these who bring about these great events. You are saying about these who give prophecies that they are idols, these who give men sickness and healing that, them. Or are you ignorant, Asclepius, that Egypt is the image of heaven? Moreover, it is the dwelling place of heaven and all the forces that are in heaven. If it is proper for us to speak the truth, our land is the temple of the world. And it is proper for you not to be ignorant that a time will come in it, our land, when Egyptians will seem to have served the divinity in vain, and all their activity in their religion will be despised. For all divinity will leave Egypt, and will flee upward to heaven. And Egypt will be widowed, it will be abandoned by the gods. For foreigners will come into Egypt, and they will rule it. Egypt. Moreover, Egyptians will be prohibited from worshipping God. Furthermore, they will come into the ultimate punishment, especially whoever among them is found worshipping and honoring God. And in that day, the country that was more pious than all countries will become impious. No longer will it be full of temples, but it will be full of tombs. Neither will it be full of gods, but it will be full of corpses. Egypt. Egypt will become like the fables. And your religious objects will be the marvelous things, and if your words are stones and are wonderful. And the barbarian will be better than you, Egyptian, in his religion, whether he is a Scythian, or the Hindus, or some other of this sort. And what is this that I say about the Egyptian? For they, the Egyptians, will not abandon Egypt. For, in the time, when the gods have abandoned the land of Egypt, and have fled upward to heaven, then all Egyptians will die. And Egypt will be made a desert by the gods and the Egyptians. And as for you, river, there will be a day when you will flow with blood more than water. And dead bodies will be stacked higher than the dams. And he who is dead will not be mourned as much as he who is alive. Indeed, the latter will be known as an Egyptian on account of his language in the second period of time. Asclepius, why are you weeping? He will seem like a foreigner in regard to his customs. Divine Egypt will suffer evils greater than these. Egypt, lover of God, and the dwelling place of the gods, school of religion, will become an example of impiousness. And in that day, the world will not be marveled at, and immortality, nor will it be worshipped, since we say that it is not good. It has become neither a single thing nor a vision. But it is in danger of becoming a burden to all men. Therefore, it will be despised, the beautiful world of God, the incomparable work, the energy that possesses goodness, the man-formed vision. Darkness will be preferred to light, and death will be preferred to life. No one will gaze into heaven. And the pious man will be counted as insane, and the impious man will be honored as wise. The man who is afraid will be considered as strong. And the good man will be punished like a criminal. And concerning the soul, and the things of the soul, and the things of immortality, along with the rest of what I have said to you, Tat, Asclepius, and Ammon, not only will they be considered ridiculous, but they will also be thought of as vanity. But believe me, when I say, that people of this kind will be endangered by the ultimate danger to their soul. And a new law will be established. 2 lines missing, they will. Line missing, good. The wicked angels will remain among men, and be with them, and lead them into wicked things recklessly, as well as into atheism, wars, and plunderings, by teaching them things contrary to nature. In those days, the earth will not be stable, and men will not sail the sea, nor will they know the stars in heaven. Every sacred voice of the word of God will be silenced, and the air will be diseased. Such is the senility of the world, atheism, dishonor, and the disregard of noble words. And when these things had happened, Asclepius, then the Lord, the Father and God from the only first God, the Creator, when he looked upon the things that happened, established his design, which is good, against the disorder. He took away error, and cut off evil. Sometimes, he submerged it in a great flood, at other times, he burned it in a searing fire, and at still other times, he crushed it in wars and plagues, until he brought 4 lines missing, of the work. And this is the birth of the world. The restoration of the nature of the pious ones who are good will take place in a period of time that never had a beginning. For the will of God has no beginning, even as his nature, which is his will, has no beginning. For the nature of God is will. And his will is the good. Trismegistus, is purpose, then, the same as will? Yes, Asclepius, since will is included in counsel. For he, the God, does not will what he has from deficiency. Since he is complete in every part, he wills what he already fully has. And he has every good. And what he wills, he wills. And he has the good that he wills. Therefore, he has everything. And God wills what he wills. And the good world is an image of the good one. Trismegistus, is the world good? Asclepius, it is good, as I shall teach you. For just as 2 lines missing, of soul and life, of the world, come forth in matter, those that are good, the change of the climate, and beauty, and the ripening of the fruits, and the things similar to all these. Because of this, God has control over the heights of heaven. He is in every place, and he looks out over every place. And, in his place there is neither heaven nor star. And he is free from the body. Now the Creator has control in the place that is between the earth and heaven. He is called Zeus, that is, life. Platonius Zeus is Lord over the earth and sea. And he does not possess the nourishment for all mortal living creatures, for it is Kore who bears the fruit. These forces always are powerful in the circle of the earth, but those of others are always from him who is. And the lords of the earth will withdraw themselves. And they will establish themselves in a city that is in a corner of Egypt and that will be built toward the setting of the sun. Every man will go into it, whether they come on the sea or on the shore. Trismegistus, where will these be settled now? Asclepius, in the great city that is on the Libyan mountain. 2 lines missing, it frightens, as a great evil, in ignorance of the matter. For death occurs, which is the dissolution of the labors of the body, and the number of the body, when it, death, completes the number of the body. For the number is the union of the body. Now the body dies when it is not able to support the man. And this is death, the dissolution of the body and the destruction of the sensation of the body. And it is not necessary to be afraid of this, nor because of this, but because of what is not known, and is disbelieved, is one afraid. But what is not known, or is disbelieved? Listen, Asclepius. There is a great demon. The great God has appointed him to be overseer or judge over the souls of men. And God has placed him in the middle of the air, between earth and heaven. Now when the soul comes forth from the body, it is necessary that it meet this daimon. Immediately, he, the daimon, will surround this one, masculine, and he will examine him in regard to the character that he has developed in his life. And if he finds that he piously performed all of his actions for which he came into the world, this daimon will allow him 1 line missing, turn him. But if he sees, in this one, he brought his life into evil deeds, he grasps him, as he flees upward, and throws him down, so that he is suspended between heaven and earth, and is punished with a great punishment. And he will be deprived of his hope, and will be in great pain. And that soul has been put neither on the earth nor in heaven, but it has come into the open sea of the air of the world, the place where there is a great fire, and crystal water, and furrows of fire, and a great upheaval. The bodies are tormented, in various ways. Sometimes they are cast down into the fire, in order that it may destroy them. Now, I will not say that this is the death of the soul, for it has been delivered from evil, but it is a death sentence. Asclepius, it is necessary to believe these things and to fear them, in order that we might not encounter them. For unbelievers are impious, and commit sin. Afterwards, they will be compelled to believe, and they will not hear by word of mouth only, but will experience the reality itself. For they kept believing that they would not endure these things. Nor only. One line missing. First, Asclepius, all those of the earth die, and those who are of the body cease, of evil, with these of this sort. For those who are here are not like those who are there. So with the daimons who, men, they despite, there. Thus, it is not the same. But truly, the gods who are here will punish more whoever has hidden it here every day. Trismegistus, what is the character of the iniquity that is there? Now you think, Asclepius, that when one takes something in a temple, he is impious. For that kind of a person is a thief and a bandit. And this matter concerns gods and men. But do not compare those here with those of the other place. Now I want to speak this discourse to you confidentially, no part of it will be believed. For the souls that are filled with much evil will not come and go in the air, but they will be put in the places of the daimons, which are filled with pain, and, which are always filled with blood and slaughter, and their food, which is weeping, mourning, and groaning. Trismegistus, who are these daimons? Asclepius, they are the ones who are called stranglers, and those who roll souls down on the dirt, and those who scourge them, and those who cast into the water, and those who cast into the fire, and those who bring about the pains and calamities of men. For such as these are not from a divine soul, nor from a rational soul of man. Rather, they are from the terrible evil. The Sentences of Sextus. The Sentences of Sextus is one of the most intriguing and accessible writings within the broader Gnostic and sapiential tradition, a collection of brief, aphoristic sayings that distills the essence of spiritual philosophy into the language of ethical and contemplative practice. Unlike the mythic or revelatory tone of the Gnostic Gospels, this work speaks in the calm, direct voice of wisdom. It is not a revelation from a divine messenger but a manual for inner life, a series of meditations meant to train the mind toward purity, discernment, and self-knowledge. Within the landscape of Gnostic and Hermetic thought, the Sentences of Sextus represents the meeting point between revelation and reason, where the mystical becomes practical and the quest for gnosis takes form in the discipline of daily consciousness. The text is famous for its universality and simplicity. Thought to have circulated among late antique ascetics and Christian mystics, it gathered influence not through myth or theology but through the quiet authority of its insight. Each saying compresses profound metaphysical understanding into a few words, teaching that self-restraint, humility, and inner attention are the pathways to liberation. The divine is not sought in ecstatic vision but recognized in the order of thought and deed. In contrast to the cosmic dualism of many Gnostic writings, the Sentences of Sextus turns the struggle between light and darkness into an inner moral discipline. The heart becomes the battlefield, where ignorance and awareness contend for mastery. Its content unites ethical wisdom with metaphysical depth. The sayings emphasize the importance of interior stillness and awareness, where knowledge arises as silence made conscious. The true seeker, according to Sextus, is not one who multiplies learning, but who purifies intention, for only a clear mind can reflect the light of God without distortion. This moral simplicity conceals a subtle metaphysics. By directing the soul inward, the text invites recognition of the divine principle suffused through all existence. It teaches that gnosis is not an escape from the world but the transformation of one's perception of it, a refinement of vision that allows the eternal to be seen in the ordinary. Symbolically, the sentences revolve around the imagery of light, self-mastery, and harmony. The light represents understanding, mastery stands for the conscious ordering of the passions, harmony signifies the balance between body, soul, and intellect that mirrors the cosmic equilibrium. The tone of the text is serene and measured, yet its brevity conceals an undercurrent of spiritual intensity. Each sentence is like a spark, meant not to inform but to ignite recognition. The sayings often juxtapose opposites, silence and speech, knowledge and ignorance, body and spirit, inviting the reader to perceive them as complementary forces rather than moral absolutes. Philosophically, the sentences of Sextus stands at the intersection of ethics, mysticism, and inner knowledge. It shares with the Gnostic tradition the conviction that ignorance is humanity's true bondage, but it replaces mythic narrative with practical psychology. Salvation is no longer the ascent of the soul through heavenly spheres, but the ordering of the soul within itself, where divine reason takes root. Its wisdom harmonizes with both Platonic and early Christian thought, showing that spiritual awakening is inseparable from the cultivation of virtue. The sayings teach that to know the divine is to align every act and thought with clarity, an ethic of enlightenment that unites contemplation and action. In the broader tapestry of Gnostic literature, the sentences of Sextus occupies a unique space, not a myth or a revelation, but a mirror of the awakened mind. Its endurance across centuries stems from its universality. It speaks equally to mystic, philosopher, and seeker. Stripped of cosmic drama, it presents gnosis as sobriety of spirit, as living wisdom. Beneath its simplicity lies a profound message, that enlightenment is not momentary illumination, but the patient refinement of being, the art of becoming fully transparent to the light one already carries within. Is a sign of ignorance. 158-159, love the truth, and the lie use like poison. 160, may the right time precede your words. 161-160 seconds, speak when it is not proper to be silent, but speak concerning the things you know, only, then when it is fitting. 163a, the untimely word is characteristic of an evil mind. 163b, when it is proper to act, do not use a word. 164a, do not wish to speak first in the midst of a crowd. 164b, while it is a skill to speak, it is also a skill to be silent. 165a, it is better for you to be defeated while speaking the truth, than to be victorious through deceit. 165b, he who is victorious through deceit is defeated by the truth. 165c, untrue words are a characteristic of evil persons. 165d, there has to be a great crisis before the lie is necessary. 165e, when there is someone, while you speak the truth, even if you lie there is no sin. 165f, do not deceive anyone, especially him who needs advice. 166, faithful is he who is first with all good works. 167, wisdom leads the soul to the place of God. 168, there is no kinsman of the truth except wisdom. 169, it is not possible for a believing nature to become fond of lying. 170, a fearful and slavish nature will not be able to partake in faith. 171a, when you are faithful, what it is fitting to say is not of greater value than the hearing. 171b, when you are with believing persons, desire to listen rather than to speak. 172, a pleasure-loving man is useless in everything. 173, when there is no accounting of sin, do not speak in anything, which is from God. 174, the sins of those who are ignorant are the shame of those who have taught them. 175, those on account of whom the name of God is blasphemed are dead before God. 176, a wise man is a doer of good works after God. 177, may your life confirm your words before those who hear. 178, what it is not right to do, do not even consider doing it. 179, what you do not want to happen to you, do not do it yourself either. 180, what it is shameful to do, is also. Pages 17 to 26 are missing. 307-308, he is a wise man who commends God to men, and God thinks more highly of the wise man than his own works. 309, after God, no one is as free as the wise man. 310, everything God possesses, the wise man has also. 311-312, the wise man shares in the kingdom of God, an evil man does not want the foreknowledge of God to come to pass. 313, an evil soul flees from God. 314, everything bad is the enemy of God. 315, what thinks in you, say with your mind that it is man. 316, where your thought is, there is your goodness. 317, do not seek goodness in flesh. 318, he who does not harm the soul neither does so to man. 319, after God, honor a wise man, since he is the servant of God. 320, to make the body of your soul a burden is pride, but to be able to restrain it gently when it is necessary, is blessedness. 321. Do not become guilty of your own death. Do not be angry at him who will take you out of the body and kill you. 322. If someone brings the wise man out of the body wickedly, he rather does what is good for him, for he has been released from bonds. 323. The fear of death grieves man because of the ignorance of the soul. 324. It were better for you had the man-killing sword not come into being, but when it comes, say with your mind that it does not exist. 325/326a. Someone who says, I believe, even if he spends a long time pretending, he will not prevail, but he will fall, as your heart is, so will be your life. 326b. A godly heart produces a blessed life. 327. He who will plot evil against another, he is the first. 328. Let not an ungrateful man cause you to cease to do good. 329. Do not say with your mind that these things which were asked, and you gave immediately, are more valuable than the receiver. 330. You will use great property, if you give to the needy willingly. 331. Persuade a senseless brother not to be senseless, if he is mad, protect him. 332/334. Strive eagerly to be victorious over every man in prudence, maintain self-sufficiency. 333. You cannot receive understanding unless you know first that you possessed it. In everything there is again this sentence. 335. The members of the body are a burden to those who do not use them. 336. It is better to serve others than to make others serve you. 337. He whom God will not bring out of the body, let him not burden himself. 338. Not only do not hold an opinion which does not benefit the needy, but also do not listen to it. 339. He who gives something without respect commits an outrage. 340. If you take on the guardianship of orphans, you will be the father of many children, and you will be beloved of God. 341. He whom you serve because of honor, you have served for a wage. 342. If you have given that which honors you, you have given not to man, but you have given for your own pleasure. 343/344. Do not provoke the anger of a mob. Know, then, what is fitting for the fortunate man to do. 345. It is better to die than to darken the soul because of the immoderation of the belly. 346. Say with your mind that the body is the garment of your soul, keep it, therefore, pure since it is innocent. 347. Whatever the soul will do while it is in the body, it has as witnesses when it goes into judgment. 348/349. Unclean demons do lay claim to a polluted soul, a faithful and good soul, evil demons will not be able to hinder in the way of God. 350. Do not give the word of God to everyone. 351. For those who are corrupted by glory it is not assuring to hear about God. 352/353. It is not a small danger for us to speak the truth about God. Do not say anything about God before you have learned from God. 354/356. Do not speak with a godless person about God. If you are polluted on account of impure works, do not speak about God. 357. The true word about God is the word of God. 355. Speak concerning the word about God as if you were saying it in the presence of God. 358. If first your mind is persuaded that you have been God-loving, then speak to whomever you wish about God. 359. May your pious works precede every word about God. 360. Do not wish to speak with a crowd about God. 361. Be more sparing with a word about God than about a soul. 362. It is better to dispose of a soul than to discard at random a word about God. 363a. You conceive the body of a God-loving man, but you will not be able to rule over his speech. 363b. The lion also rules over the body of the wise man, also the tyrant rules over it alone. 364. If a tyrant threatens you, then, especially, remember God. 365. He who speaks the word of God to those for whom it is not lawful, he is the betrayer of God. 366. It is better for you to be silent about the word of God, than to speak recklessly. 367/368. He who speaks lies about God is lying to God. A man who does not have anything truthful to say about God is abandoned by God. 369. It is not possible for you to know God when you do not worship Him. 370. A man who does evil to someone will not be able to worship God. 371. The love of man is the beginning of godliness. 372. He who takes care of men while praying for all of them, this is the truth of God. 373. 374. It is God's business to save whom he wants. On the other hand, it is the business of the pious man to beseech God to save everyone. 375. When you pray for something and it happens to you through God, then say with your mind that you have. 376a. A man who is worthy of God, he is God among men, and he is the Son of God. 376b. Both the Great One exists and he who is next to the Great One exists. 377. 378. It is better for man to be without anything than to have many things while not giving to the needy, so also you, if you pray to God, he will not give to you. 379. If you, from your whole heart, give your bread to the hungry, the gift is small, but the willingness is great with God. 380. He who thinks that no one is in the presence of God, he is not humble towards God. 381. He who makes his mind like unto God as far as he is able, he is the one who honors God greatly. 382. God does not need anything, but he rejoices over those who give to the needy. 383. The faithful do not speak many words, but their works are numerous. 384. It is a faithful person fond of learning who is the worker of the truth. 385. Adjust the calamities, in order that. 386. If you do not do evil to anyone, you will not be afraid of anyone. 387. The tyrant will not be able to take away happiness. 388. What is right to do, do it willingly. 389a. What is not right to do not do it in any way. 389b. Promise everything rather than to say, I am wise. 390. What you do well, say with your mind that it is God who does it. 391. No man who looks down upon the earth and upon tables is wise. 392. The philosopher who is an outer body, he is not the one to whom it is fitting to pay respect, but the philosopher according to the inner man. 393. Guard yourself from lying, there is he who deceives and there is he who is deceived. 394. 395. Know who God is, and know who is the one who thinks in you. A good man is the good work of God. 396. They are miserable because of whom the word is blasphemed. 397. Death will not be able to destroy.